Hey everybody, welcome back. As usual, you're stuck with me while I do things because it's farm season, or well, garden season, and I'm prepping the garden right now. So you're gonna hang out with me while I cut some coconut husk fiber for the bottom of my handy dandy milk crates that I'm gonna grow onions in this year. I'm also filming multiple episodes, so you're gonna see the same outfit and everything else for a couple of weeks. Again, busy season. Got Mother's Day coming, everything else. So I'm just knocking out some content now. Plus there's been a ton of things happening this week that I want to talk about. The biggest one right now is all of the clips that have been going viral of Rachel Wilson debating a conservative feminist. It's been excellent. I don't agree with Rachel Wilson on everything, but everything she put forward in that, nailed it. Everything I've seen so far just nailed it. But one in particular I want to talk about today because I thought it was absolutely exceptional. So, welcome back to the Green Egg Girl podcast. You're going to see Hawk is the dog running around in here and barking. It's Sunday. It's what he does. All right, so Rachel Wilson was talking to this girl, and anyone that calls themselves a conservative but is a feminist, that's very contradictory things, okay? Which is why everybody's really kind of reviling against Turning Point USA right now, because all it is a whole bunch of girl boss BS, and their main base was really men and actual conservatives, and nobody's buying the girl boss thing. So Rachel Wilson has been getting a lot of crap from feminists. They call her a hypocrite. They criticize every mistake she's ever made. And, you know, part of why I actually like people like her is because they have made mistakes. They own up to the fact that, you know, they make mistakes and they continue talking about the right things anyway. Because the funny thing is, truth can come from anyone. So, you know, even people you disagree with, a lot of times what they have to say is actually still true. So, you know, you guys know I listen to Andrew Tate. You can hate him all you want. He's still right about a great many things. So Rachel Wilson's another one of those. She gets a lot of crap, but she's right about a great many things. So here's the clip that I saw that I just love.
Protect her. You guys think that it's fine to go off and I'm going to have a glamorous career where I close the deal over brunch and some other lady out there can have all the babies. No.
Why can't you do both, Rachel?
Well, that's been my point. My point is I did that first for 25 years before doing this, and you're calling me a hypocrite for it. You're looking down on me for it. You're chastising me and calling me a hypocrite because you're like, well, you're out here promoting stuff. You're out here making money. You're out here doing things.
Because
why are you doing
telling other women not to do what you did.
No, I'm telling them to do what I did. Do what I did. Have all your kids first. Raise them into adulthood. You know, I started at 20, which is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to start early in your 20s, and then by the time you're my age, 45, you're done having kids.
Aren't there risks?
Now you can go off and do other things because you fulfilled your duty to society as a woman.
So calling somebody a hypocrite for coming out and speaking now, and especially it's actually really funny the way feminists approach all of this. They don't actually argue anything. They just want to be rude. And so they just call her a hypocrite and say, well, we don't listen to you because you're a hypocrite, because you say women shouldn't do something and they shouldn't be out doing this because they should be at home taking care of kids. And she just nailed it. She's absolutely done the right thing. She's absolutely been home with her children and raised them. And now she's out here telling people what to do. She and I actually come to the destruction of, I guess, the wanting to destroy the feminist movement from opposite directions. Rachel Wilson did all of the right things. And I bought into you need to go to college, you need to have a career, and then you can have kids and you can be a stay-at-home mom and all of that. But the truth is, that's a rare thing. What Rachel Wilson did was the right thing. She got married young, she raised kids young, she had kids, and it's important. Okay? So she did the absolute right thing from the onset, and in trying to tell women this, the women just want to try to judge her life instead of learn something. Why is it so hard to just learn something from someone who has a different life experience from you, who's significantly happier than you, by the way? Rachel Wilson has a beautiful life with kids and a husband who loves her and whom she respects. Why do you hate that so much? And I'm sure fundamentally it's just because you're unhappy and you want the rest of the world to be unhappy. So sitting around and just calling Rachel a hypocrite and trying to disprove her argument just by trying to say that she's a hypocrite doesn't actually work. Okay? Because everything I believe has come from learning from mistakes I've made. The people who have made mistakes are the best people to learn from. In Rachel's case, all the mistakes you guys want to judge her for shouldn't matter. Because she comes at you with solid facts, solid truth, and all you can do is call her a hypocrite? That's it? That's all you got? You don't find that to be pathetic beyond all reason? Because I do. Refute her argument. But you can't. Right? My guess is that's your biggest issue, is that you can't actually refute her argument because she's speaking truth. And just because the truth makes you angry doesn't make it any less the truth. And that's a conversation that I've been having on X a lot lately. But my second favorite part of this, after she absolutely dismantled the girl for, in general, just being an idiot and not forming any logical argument against what Rachel's saying, is the look on the girl's face when Rachel tells her that she has a duty to society, because feminists don't think they have a duty to anything. Nothing. It's 100% self-service or nothing in the world of the feminists. And it's really pretty pathetic. And it's sad. Like, I feel bad for them, honestly, because they're going to get to where I am. I never bought into the radical ideology. I didn't believe in abortion. I voted conservative, and I had all kinds of things that I just won't go along with. I never hated men. There was nothing. I grew up with good men. I could not find it within myself to hate men and sit around bashing them all the time. It didn't make any sense to me because I grew up with good men. And so even when I got into relationships with people and they didn't go well, I didn't blame the entire sex for it. And honestly, looking back, it was probably me. Okay, the vast majority of it, me. And that self-accountability of just looking back and going, oh man, I was a disaster zone, plays a big role in going forward and moving on with your life, but feminists don't want that kind of self-accountability, right? So I am actually kind of the feminist ideal. The original feminist ideal, okay? I got good degrees that most women don't get. All right, my degrees are not in feminist study BS or anything. It's actually a lucrative career. I have worked in all male fields, very male dominated fields for my entire career, which has gone on now for 10 and a half years. And I really am like what they claim is the feminist dream, and they hate me. And the truth is, I hate it. I hate that I've done what I've done, because the truth is, all I ever wanted was to just get married and have kids. I really didn't want to have the big career and all of the stuff, but I fell for the trap, and I ended up having a career and doing everything, and it's not fulfilling. Okay, I'm telling you now, it's not. And all of my friends that have kids, they have much more fulfilling lives. So, my husband and I are working very, very hard to get ourselves into the position that we can have children and be out of debt so that I can stay home. Because we didn't wake up to the debt slavery system and why women are in the marketplace to begin with. Like, we didn't wake up to that until a few years ago. So by that point, we both have student loans, we both have cars, we have a mortgage. Like, there's all of this debt, and it requires income to cover all of that. And it was all based off of 2 incomes. So when you're allowed to get into that much debt and you can't just up and be done with one, it's not worth it. We looked into selling our farm. It's not actually worth enough for us to liquidate the farm. We're going to end up back in another mortgage anyway. It doesn't, it's a wash in the end. At least out here, it's quiet, it's peaceful. I can grow the garden. My husband's growing the Christmas trees. We have a lot more freedom out here. So we didn't do that. But these conservative feminists, and especially these young girls, you really should be listening to people like Rachel. You can scream and cry, and you cannot like her past. You cannot like that she was in 2 other long-term stable relationships that she had children from. And if, like this girl, she was claiming to be a conservative feminist, whatever that is, I've seen the crazed women, the crazed feminists that say that she should have just had abortions. That's disgusting and despicable. She shouldn't. She has children. It is what it is. And I bet they're lovely children. I bet they're lovely children who respect their parents. Everyone makes mistakes in life. And if your only avenue to refuting someone's argument is to just attack them and call them a hypocrite, tell them they're stupid, they're ugly, they're fat, if that's all you got, then you're not actually entering into the conversation. And yes, women, we do actually have a duty to society to bear children and continue on generations. That onus falls on us. And part of the clip that I didn't include because I wanted to cut it down a little shorter, beforehand, Rachel was talking about how you can't shirk that responsibility because men literally cannot do it. Women are the only ones who can have kids. And it's our duty to have them to continue our societies. It's where I've failed because I bought into the feminist trap and now here I am, So we do have duty to society. Rachel absolutely nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. And she absolutely did the right things. I'm very glad she's out and she's speaking now that she's raised the kids and lived a life. I wish, I'm 35, I'll be 36 this year. I wish I had heard all of that back then and I knew what I know now back then. Because the truth is, I'm 36. I've been working a high-powered career. And it's not fulfilling. Feminists, you need to wake up. Like, there's actual experience and understanding that comes from hearing these people out. If you just want to write them off as they're a hypocrite, I'm not going to listen to them. You have a higher body fat percentage than I think you should, so I'm not going to listen to you. I'm not. I had people tell me I should watch my hairline, and that I'm larger than a size 8, so I shouldn't get to have discussions. These are arguments I came up on this week when having discussions online with people about feminism. And when I went in and said, hey, you really should go, look up this section of this debate because Rachel Wilson, was way more eloquent about things than I could be. She's a hypocrite. She has multiple kids from multiple dads, and I'm just better than her because all of mine are from one. Rachel Wilson has lived a more real life than any of the women I encountered online, and I guarantee it. And a more fulfilling, happier one at that. So, I highly encourage you to go watch at least more clips of that debate. I still need to watch the full thing. I've watched about half of it now, and all of the clips that I come across, I stop and watch because she's just nailing it. Honestly, she's very well researched, and she's actually lived her life very well. So I highly encourage you all to go watch that also. And women, wake up. You do have a duty to society, and you really need to stop writing off listening to alternative arguments for stupid reasons. You need to start actually trying to expand your mind. It is a problem to sit around and just be an ignorant cunt. So, wake up. Please, I beg of you. Crack open some books. Okay? I'm writing a book on feminism. I'm reading so much information. It's really kind of overwhelming. And of course, then that's people who have compiled their information from alternative sources, and there's 8,000 sources in that. It's dense reading, and it gives you a lot to think about. And all I'm saying is you don't have to do that. You can actually just go listen to people like Rachel who already did that for you. She read all the dense, heavy books. She also has very valid lived experience and a much more fulfilling life than you do, because you're all sad and on Xanax. And she's not. Everybody have a fantastic day. And like I said, you're going to be seeing this outfit for the next couple weeks, so get used to it, because it's going to be a lot of content filmed today. Have a great one.